This video I'm going to be talking about what you should start when you start dropshipping, eBay or Etsy. Why am I the expert? Because I've basically done 6 figures on both platforms. And eBay and Etsy are platforms that are free to use and are really good if you join them together. However, it is probably the best idea just to start on one. So if you're starting out, in this video what you're going to learn is what platforms basically you should start with, what the differences are between the two platforms and which one is for you, because both are very different. One is easier than the other, one is user friendly than the other, and they are not the same. So if you're going to start out, it's important you start on the right one and you can get sales from like week 1. You know, we've had so many people pass through the group where they're getting sales from week 1 easily. Now, I have a singular preference, which I will go through later on in the video, but I actually have a preference of which platform is best. And look, they're separate business models. Facebook Marketplace is something we also do as well, and Facebook Marketplace is a separate business model, eBay is a separate business model, and Etsy is a separate business model. So it's important that you know that there's actually people who are doing 10K, 15K, 20K months on either platform. We're going to run through Etsy and eBay today. So if you stick around, I'm going to show you how to get set up on whichever platform I think is best for you to start on. Right, so I've done out a few things and obviously used AI to help me structure it better, which everyone does nowadays. So one thing is, right, eBay is one of the biggest platforms in the world. It always has been. You know, you think back to when you were younger, you're buying stuff on eBay since whatever like age you are. Now, there's hundreds of millions basically on this per week, you know? So you're never tired of traffic. Now people say, oh, but so much competition on eBay. It can't, doesn't matter. It can never match the amount of buyers on eBay. So when people say a business model doesn't work because of this, because of that, it's usually they've never even fucking tried, or else they did for like 2 days and it didn't work. And it usually just weren't, they didn't know enough. If there are other people making things work in the world and then you try it and then you say it doesn't work because it didn't work for you, I just wouldn't tell that out loud. I wouldn't like openly say that to people because you just didn't have enough experience or knowledge to actually make it work. Because if other people are making it work, you can definitely make it work. How do I know this? Because every single store we have has done 5 figures on eBay, every store. So yeah, up to 250 listings free to start. You pay when you sell. So eBay is a bit different with fees. It's not like Etsy that you pay as you list. You actually pay when you sell it. Now, however, the fees still do come out, and they can be 10 to 15%, right? But to be honest, I think, and a lot of people might disagree with me on this, but I think eBay is just easier because you can literally just list products from the get-go. There's no kind of tricks or anything to do. You can pretty much list products just randomly and next minute get sales. What you can sell, the best thing about eBay is it's absolutely everything. You can sell anything on eBay. Microwaves, like desks, computer stuff, influencer stuff, remote control cars, anime merch, phone cases, anything. You can sell anything on eBay. That's why I like it. So it's very broad, very open. The competition is huge. However, this is what I try and tell people. We've had people in the group who literally say, there's like, I'm trying to match my competitor's pricing. I'm like, why are you even looking at your competitor? We're like getting sales based on SEO, right? We don't want to be shown beside our competitors anyway. We just want to be shown in like Etsy or eBay marketing, and basically just when someone types a random name that we've in our title or description, that's how we want to show up, right? We just want to make our listings very optimized, right? So good listings and all right pricing, you know what I mean? Don't completely overshoot it. As long as you've got decent margin after the fees, that's all you want. Again, like even with 50 people selling the same product, like look at the amount of buyers you have. You're never gonna actually reach the point where there's more sellers than buyers ever, right? So this is really good, right? The quickest I've seen someone from actually watching my videos to getting a sale is 60 minutes. 60 minutes after listing products, after watching my tutorial on how to do it. 60 minutes he got a sale. So therefore eBay's like record time, the fastest I've seen to someone like who hadn't done it before, never ever tried it before, to actually getting a sale in e-com online was 60 minutes. So that's a little trophy I hold for myself, right? And listing limits do increase as according as you go, but you can make sales within days of going live. It's pretty much the same as Etsy. Now, Etsy, still a lot of people, a bit less. Fees are 20 cents to list each item, and then a transaction fee, payment processing. So yeah, I think it even a bit more than this. But look, it's still not bad. It still is highly profitable, honestly. You can sell like kind of the handmade type of stuff. It's a bit of strict on Etsy. You can't just go listing fridges and microwaves and all that stuff. You need to be careful about what you sell, right? And I would be listing products a bit higher on Etsy just because people don't buy shit. You know, just because you're getting it for like €4, if you sell it for €10, people are like, oh, it's probably a heap of shit. So yeah, I think you can charge a bit more on Etsy for sure. I definitely think so. I think on eBay you are trying to keep the price a bit low to keep the sales up, but there is a bit less competition for sure, less than eBay anyway, right? Now this is a big one, right? You can have someone who, there's just tips and tricks with Etsy, which there's less with eBay, right? And that's just a fact. Like there's some things that we know that basically no one else would probably know. Like other people that are doing well in the space would know, but like just someone who starts up probably wouldn't figure out unless were actually given the information. And the right niche can be absolutely powerful on Etsy. Like it's amazing. So it can be slower to start if you don't have the steps, right? If you don't have the steps, it can be definitely slower to start because eBay, there's not many steps. You literally just list the product and it's very straightforward, you know. Rather Etsy, I think there is a couple of steps that you will not be able to progress unless you know, right? The algorithm can definitely take time unless you find a winning product, but it is more consistent. I definitely think it's more consistent than eBay when it gets going, because eBay, you can have 10 sales in a day, then you can have nothing for a few days, then you can have 5 sales. But I think once you get a couple of winning products on Etsy, it will just stay continuous. Right, so side by side, in my opinion, like eBay wins on fees if you do it right. If you actually list the margins properly and use a calculator to calculate the proper margins and incorporate the fees, it can win. Because normally the setup for Etsy, like you're going to be minus a certain amount until basically you get the sales. What you can sell, eBay wins because you can, like when you're starting out, it's less kind of a product selection issue. You just can list anything that pops into your head, and it's usually something that you would buy on eBay. You list on eBay and it will sell, because if you can buy it, other people will buy it. Etsy wins on basically if you have like a winning product or a winning niche or whatever, it's definitely, you can list higher prices and you can get more of a consistent, right? So eBay, harder to stand out definitely, but it is easier to get your first sale, right? I mean, like 60 minutes someone got a sale after watching my YouTube video. It's absolutely insane. Etsy does take longer, but Etsy is something that can literally like just take off and not slow down for like a year. You know, honestly, I've had stores that were just pumping 4 or 5 sales a day for a year. You know, I know that's not a lot, 4 or 5 sales, but it is when you do it for a full year. And then you've got multiple stores, everything. eBay definitely wins, as in like I've never seen anyone in ecom get a sale within 60 minutes of actually just first trying it, right? Literally just off the bat. Etsy probably worth it more than eBay if you want to put in the time and just be patient, learn the platform, you know, learn what works, get better at listing, all that, put more effort into it. But I do think eBay can get you lucky very early. Now, start with eBay is my overall verdict, right? And then put Etsy on top of it when eBay is running, clearly, as it says here. And look, if you can have a couple of eBay stores leading up to Q4, which is the last 3 months of the year, and you also have a couple of Etsy stores, you are going to be laughing. That's all you want. Let's get 10 stores built. And I'm telling you, this is how you move to Thailand. This is how you quit your job. This is how you do all this stuff. This is what I done to quit my job, was start all these platforms, get a couple of stores running each, make 3 or 4K online, and boom, out the gap. So yeah, that is my verdict basically on what you should start. So there you have it. I broke down basically the difference between eBay and Etsy, which one you should start to actually get quicker results and get the hang of it. But in the end of the day, you should stack them both anyway, because if eBay ever goes to shit on you, you have Etsy going anyway. It's important with e-commerce not to have all your eggs in one basket, because if you do, the day that shuts down, you're basically going from 5, 10K a month to 0, right? So diverse it a bit. And it's much the same daily routine as working Etsy as it is working eBay. So just get them working together. If you can incorporate Facebook Marketplace, even better. If I was you starting out, I would start on eBay just because I see literally people getting sales, not even having a clue what they're doing. Otherwise, Etsy, you do need the tips and the tricks. You do need to know the roadmap. You do need to know like the best way to do things, because we even have people in the group, even with the roadmap laid out in front of them, but they still ask questions every day about Etsy, right? So it's important that you have the right steps in place for that platform. Now, if it is something that you do want to get into, you do want to actually figure out like the right way to do it, like how we've got basically in the group, we've had Josh who started on the 5th of February. It's now Paddy's Day. It's the 17th of March. Happy Paddy's Day. And he's done £2,500 this month already. He only started at the start of last month. Like he was getting set up for half of February. And now March, he's probably going to make 3K profit a month per sterling. You know, we also have Keen started about halfway through last month, and he's basically hitting €700 revenue days already on his Etsy stores. So if it is something that you are interested in properly giving a go and not wasting your own time, like just trying it yourself for months, on, off, like I did Shopify at the start. If you actually do want to give it a proper go, reach out to us, book a call down below in the description, and basically, yeah, we can get the ball rolling.